And welcome back for another daily devotion. I'm Pastor Roy here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa, and this devotion is for Tuesday, October 11th of 2022. And today we are in the fourth chapter of the book of Hebrews. We're going to look at the first 5 verses. And really this section we're talking about now is the rest that God promised. And it really goes from 1 to 13. But I've decided to break it into 2 parts. And we're going to kind of do it in 2 different bunches here rather than taking it in one big slog because I'm tired. It's very ironic that we're talking about rest, the promise of God's rest. On a day when I'm extremely exhausted, I'm just absolutely wiped out. We had to get up early. I had a doctor's appointment in Des Moines today. This is Monday the 10th. Went down, took care of my doctor's appointment, and then I spent the rest of the day taking flyers around for the concert that we have coming up in Christmas down in Des Moines and Ames and whatnot. So we put out a bunch of flyers today. And a lot of driving around, a lot of stopping, getting out. You know, you pull up to a business, get in, get out, and it just takes longer than you think, and it wears you out. And I've had several nights here of not getting the best sleep that we could get. And so, long story short, I'm just extremely physically tired today. I have little rest. And so it's an interesting time to be talking about this. And we'll talk more about the rest of God tomorrow. But the rest of God is that promise of entering into his promised land. Remember yesterday's devotion, we talked about the warning against unbelief and that inability to believe, that inability to accept everything is denying you that entrance into the promise. And the promise is God's rest. When we come to God, we can have that relief from our exhaustion that the world gives us. It's not necessarily a physical relief, let's put it that way, but it is spiritual relief. Physically, we're in this world, physically, we're going to be tired. Trust me, today I know that. When I was a younger man, I used to be able to go long stretches without sleep, and I did that a time or two, but I'm getting kind of long in the tooth and a little bit grizzled, and that getting less and less sleep is not it's not something I can handle as well anymore. And we can't handle being separated from God either well. Our spiritually we get tired. We have to let our daily lives not get us so busy that we can't spend some time in God's rest. We need to come to God. We need to be in his presence. We need to be there holding close to him in order to gain that rest. So without further ado, I want to read verses 1 to 5 in chapter 4 of Hebrews. So let's listen to that. Therefore, while the promise of entering his rest remains, let us fear lest any of you be judged to have failed to reach it. For good news came to us just as to them, but the message which they heard did not benefit them, because it did not meet with faith in the hearers. For we who have believed entered the rest, as he has said, As I swore in my wrath, they shall never enter my rest. Although his works were finished from the foundation of the world, for he has somewhere spoken of the seventh day in this way, and God rested on the seventh day from all his works. And again in this place he said, They shall never enter my rest. And again, the promise of the rest, that's the promise of going into the promised land. But it's also talking about the Sabbath here. Now, the Sabbath, of course, would be Saturday for the Jewish folks. We have, because of Christ's resurrection on the Sunday, the last day of the week, or the first day of the week, rather, we have switched our Sabbath to being on Sunday in the Christian world. But nonetheless, the rest, we need that day where we spend focused on God. The world's we've really lost that. We've lost the focus on that, and I probably have lost focus today because I'm tired, if I haven't already mentioned that a couple times. When we get tired, we lose focus, and we need to have that day of focusing back on God so that our spirits can be renewed. We can enter into his rest, into his presence, into his grace, and feel his renewal is what we need. So with that, I'm going to cut this one down and cut this one off, I should say. Again, I'm tired. So we'll come back to all this and talk more about God's rest tomorrow. God bless you all, and please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. Go get some rest. I think I'm going to go to bed real early today because I am, as I said, weary. God bless you all. Bye bye.